Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Colleen C to Serendipity. I'm Colleen. Today is January 8th, 2023, and I would like to bring you this day in history. On January 8th, 1877, Oglala Lakota warrior Crazy Horse and his men, outnumbered, low on ammunition, and forced to use outdated weapons to defend themselves, fight their final losing battle against the U.S. Cavalry in Montana. 6 months earlier, in the Battle of Little Bighorn, Crazy Horse and his ally, Sitting Bull, led their combined forces of Sioux and Cheyenne to a stunning victory over Lieutenant Colonel George Custer, 1839 to 1876, and his men. The Native Americans were resistant to the government's efforts to force them back to their reservation. After Custer and over 200 of his soldiers were killed in the conflict, later dubbed Custer's Last Stand, the white American public wanted revenge. As a result, the U.S. Army launched a winter campaign in 1876 to 1877, led by General Nelson Miles, 1839 to 1925, against remaining tribes on the northern plains. Combining military forces with diplomatic overtures, Nelson convinced many Native Americans to surrender and return to their reservations. Much to Nelson's frustration, though, Sitting Bull refused to give in and fled across the border to Canada, where he and his people remained for 4 years before finally returning to the U.S. to surrender in 1881. Sitting Bull died in 1890. Meanwhile, Crazy Horse and his band also refused to surrender, even though they were suffering from illness and starvation. On January 8th, 1877, General Miles found Crazy Horse's camp along Montana's Tongue River. U.S. soldiers opened fire with their big wagon-mounted guns, driving the Native Americans from their warm tents out into a raging blizzard. Crazy Horse and his warriors managed to regroup on the ridge and return fire, but most of their ammunition was gone, and they were reduced to fighting with bows and arrows. They managed to hold off the soldiers long enough for the women and children to escape under cover of the blinding blizzard before they turned to follow them. Though they had escaped decisive defeat, Crazy Horse realized that Miles and his well-equipped cavalry troops would eventually hunt down and destroy his cold, hungry followers. On May 6, 1877, Crazy Horse led approximately 1,100 Native Americans to Red Cloud reservations near Nebraska's Fort Robinson and surrendered. 5 months later, a guard fatally stabbed him and after he allegedly resisted imprisonment by policemen. In 1948, American sculptor Krzysztof Zukowski began work on Crazy Horse Memorial, a massive monument carved into a mountain in South Dakota. Still a work in progress, the monument will stand 641 feet high and 563 feet long when completed. I want to thank you for watching today, and I want you to stay blessed and stay safe and stay warm, and remember to smile, because I love you, but more importantly, God loves you. And remember, I go live every Saturday night at 5 p.m. Central, that's 6 p.m. Eastern. I want to bring you 4 a little bit more on Crazy Horse. The monument is just his face. So it's still a work in progress. Over 70 years, they're still working on that. Crazy Horse early years. Crazy Horse was born in Black Hills of South Dakota in 1841, the son of Oglala Sioux shaman named Crazy Horse and his wife, a member of the Brule Sioux. Crazy Horse had lighter complexion than hair than others in his tribe. And with curls. The boys were traditionally not permitted named until they had experienced that earned them a name. So Crazy Horse was called Curly Hair and Light-Haired Boy as a child. As an adolescent, Crazy Horse earned the name his horse looking, but he was more commonly known as Curly until 1858, when following a battle at Arapaho Warriors was given his father's name, while his father took the name Worm. Crazy Horse's vision quest. Crazy Horse was not a traditionalist with regard to his tribe customs, shrugging off many of the traditions and rituals that the Sioux practiced. In 1854, Crazy Horse rode off into the prairies for a vision quest, purposeful regarding the required rituals. Fasting for 2 days, Crazy Horse had a vision of an unadorned horseman who directed him to present himself the same way, with no more than one feather, and never wore a bonnet. He was also told to toss dust over his horse before entering battle, and to place a stone behind his ear to direct to never take anything for himself. Crazy Horse followed these instructions until his death. I want to thank you for watching today, and I'll see you in my next video. Everybody have a blessed day. Bye.